Hi everyone, welcome to today's live session coming to you from the University of Aberdeen. My name's Anna. I'm the lead access and articulation officer here within the student recruitment team at the university. I also have my colleague John Barrow here today. Do you want to introduce yourself and share a bit of your story?
Yeah, sure. So my name is John Barrow. I'm Dean for Employability and Entrepreneurship. It's one half of my job, and the other half of my job, I am a professor of biochemistry and molecular biology education, which is in our School of Medicine, Medical Sciences and Nutrition. Yeah, my story really, I do have a personal story for Clearing. I came actually to this very same institution via the Clearing route. Initially, I wanted to be a pharmacist, so I wanted to do pharmacy, which is something we don't do here in Aberdeen. I'd applied through UCAS as people do. Never got my A-level grades, and therefore went into a slight panic at the time. And actually then, at the time, didn't realise what Clearing was even. Spoke to my college, and they gave me some advice on this opportunity to really gain access to universities that have available places. So then spent a couple of days phoning around lots of different institutions, and the University of Aberdeen gave me an opportunity to come and study pharmacology. And then even when I started that pharmacology program, I actually changed to do a biochemistry degree. And as they say, the rest is history. I started on my biochemistry degree at that point, and then did a PhD, and then went on to become a member of staff here, and have got to now the point where I teach lots and lots of our students the same things that I was taught as a student in that field of biochemistry and molecular biology. But Clearing for me really, I guess, was the start of that journey, and certainly hasn't held me back, and certainly really was, where the door opened and the opportunity began. And I wouldn't really be here genuinely today if it wasn't for that opportunity through Clearing all those years ago. So that's my story.
Thank you so much, John. That's really inspiring. So I think we'll move on now to some of the questions that have been submitted, and we'll take it in turns to go through the questions. So first of all, what is Clearing and how does it work? Well, in the most simple way, it's really a way for universities to fill places that they still have on their courses in summertime, so by August of each year.
Okay, so next question, is Clearing different in Scotland to the rest of the UK? Pretty short answer, no, it's not. It's the same process across the whole of the UK, so no difference regardless of which institution you're applying for.
How long does Clearing take? Well, getting an offer through Clearing can be really quick. So here at the University of Aberdeen, we will make a decision in 60 seconds. So from the point that you message us through our live chat system or give us a ring on our Clearing hotline, we'll make your decision in a minute and send you that by email.
And when does Clearing start? So Clearing's actually open from now, but you will need to wait until you have your results, if you don't indeed have your results already. And Clearing stays open until the 21st of October.
Okay, so this is one of the most common questions that we get asked about Clearing every year. So can I apply in Clearing? Is it not just for people who miss their grades? Well, actually, Clearing is a popular choice for students to get their way into a university course. It's becoming more and more popular. So actually last year, the highest ever number of students took a place through Clearing, so almost 70,000 students last year. And there's a whole range of reasons why you might be eligible to apply through clearing. So, for instance, if you didn't receive any offers when you initially applied to university, or you didn't receive any that you wanted to accept, you might not have got your grades on results day, so like what John explained earlier, or you might have done better than you thought you would as well. And you've maybe decided for whatever reason you've changed your mind to decline your firm place through UCAS Hub. So how it works is that you can call universities on results day and find out if you might be eligible for a course through clearing if you meet their entry requirements. But you do need to decline your firm place before you can add a clearing choice on your UCAS application. So yeah, there's a whole range of reasons why you might want to apply in clearing. If you have any questions at all, then we'd always suggest giving our clearing hotline a phone or call the UCAS team direct, and they will be able to advise you.
Okay, so next question. Can international students apply through clearing? We have an international community here in Aberdeen. We've got over 130 nationalities of students from all around the world. Our main message is that we're open to all, and actually that holds true for clearing as well. So if you are an international student listening to this now, then please don't be put off. Clearing is an option that you can actually participate in, so is an option for you.
Okay, so another question here, what universities can I apply to and how do I find out what courses have places? So lots of universities right across the UK will take part in clearing. It just depends on what universities and what courses have places at that time of year. So we'd always suggest using the UCAS search tool as an initial first step. You'll be able to filter by programme of interest, area which you might like to study, and that can help you find out where across the UK might have places for you. You can also just call universities and have a chat and find out if you might qualify, if you meet the entry requirements. And you can apply to any university that has vacancies listed, including those that you might have declined originally. It's entirely up to yourself, and you don't have to just apply to the university that you initially accepted or one of your initial choices either. You can apply to any course that you like. Also, if you got better grades than you might have hoped for, then you might be able to apply for universities that you didn't consider previously. So it's really quite flexible.
Okay, so 2 questions here. So do places fill up quickly, and is there a deadline to apply? So kind of taking both of those together. I guess it really depends. It depends on the university and obviously how many places they may have available. Some may fill up on results day, but actually many will still have places right up until the end of clearing on that date I mentioned earlier, on the 21st of October. As Anna says, the best thing is probably to reach out to those institutions and have a conversation with them to find out a bit more. The universities will let you know the deadline for accepting their clearing offer when it is made to you as well. So it's very clear, if you are given an offer, exactly when you would need to let them know by, so that offer could be offered to obviously other students who are going through the clearing process.
Okay, so how to apply clearing, any tips, how long do I have to accept an offer? So that's a really good question. So as we've said throughout the discussion today, we'd always recommend giving the universities you're interested in a call. They'll be able to advise you on any deadlines or any specific information that they have for you. So at Aberdeen, we can give you a decision within 60 seconds on results day. And if you're eligible for an offer, if you meet our entry requirements and we've got places available, we'll send you an offer by email, and that will outline how you can go about accepting it. We like to give students a bit of time to make their decision as to where they would like to go and study. So you usually have around a week to accept that offer, but it will be outlined in your offer email. And you don't need to go to your original choice first to get them to release you. You can do that yourself. So through your UCAS Hub account, you can release yourself into clearing by declining your firm choice. And you have to do this before you can add a clearing choice on your UCAS application. Remember, you don't have to accept the first decision you receive. You can phone up multiple universities and shop around for something that really suits you. Lots of universities will welcome you onto campus for a visit. We will be offering private visits and tours throughout the clearing period. So if you would like to come to Aberdeen to explore the campus, before you make your decision, we would really encourage you to do that. Please do speak to the universities about their deadlines, as some courses will fill up sooner than others.
And just before we get on to these questions, actually, just to add on to what Anna said, and I forgot to mention it at the start, I actually came to Aberdeen to have a look around. I'm from the northwest of England, so not from Aberdeen at the time. And I've only been to Scotland a handful of times before that. So really, that step into the unknown was made a lot more straightforward by actually coming along to campus. And I would add, as you may well be able to see from some of the images that you see on the screen, our campus is a very beautiful place, so definitely worth a visit if you're able to make it. Okay, so on to the next set of questions. So what about funding? How much do I have to pay to apply in clearing, and will I still be able to get a scholarship? So all kind of funded related questions that are quite common things we get asked. So there's no additional cost to apply in through clearing if you've already paid the application fee to UCAS, so that fee of £27. And you would apply for the funding in the same way via your funding body. So for students in Scotland, that might be SAS funding, for example. And many universities will also still have scholarships available. So not all of those will have necessarily been taken up. So we have a range of UK and international scholarships that are open to students who will also have that available to them if they come through clearing, just as they would if they were coming through on a normal offer to the university. So the emails that you get sent with your offer will include that information on how to apply for any additional funding if that's something that you're interested in doing.
Thanks, John. So the next one, I'm worried that I won't get accommodation if I apply through clearing. And that's a really common worry that we hear about on the clearing phones on results day. We'd always advise you to check with the universities that you're considering applying through clearing and asking about their accommodation policies. How it works at Aberdeen is all first year students are guaranteed a place in halls, providing they apply by the deadline, which is usually the end of August for coming in September. So clearing students, we still have accommodation available at our university owned and managed accommodation. So that includes all of your bills, 24-hour support and security. So absolutely, you will still be able to get a space in halls if you were considering coming to Aberdeen.
Okay, and something else that we get asked frequently is that sometimes students are worried about not fitting in. So if you come through clearing, you're going to stand out in your classes. So is that often the case? Hands down, absolutely not the case. So it's for a few different reasons. One is that me as a teacher member of staff, I sit down on day one of term with a whole set of students in front of me, and I have no idea actually where those students have come from. They may have come through clearing, they may have come through other routes into university. So it's really the start of your journey, and you're at the same position as every single other person in the room on day one. So there's no real way of you feeling different in any way. Ultimately, everyone coming into that class will have a different background, will have a different story to tell. And actually, that's one of the really exciting bits about starting a university education, I would argue. You're meeting people from all over the place, from lots and lots of different walks of life. And then the other thing to add to that is that more and more students are applying through clearing. So there are actually more and more people that will be in those first classes that you join who would have come through the same sort of route as yourself. So it's likely there'll be other new students in there that have come in the same way. So absolutely not treated any differently. You're treated as an equal, as we would treat any of our students who start with us.
Okay, that brings us to the end of the questions for today's live stream. So we hope you found that useful in terms of finding a little bit more about the University of Aberdeen and the clearing process. If you've got any questions at all, then we'd recommend getting in touch with us through our clearing hotline or through our website, and the web link to join is just below. Thank you and good luck with your results.
Thank you, everyone. Good luck.
We all have a true north, a spark that drives us forward.
Sometimes you have to go that little bit further to truly stretch the limits of what you thought possible.
Sometimes you have to look back in order to go forward.
To take that next vital step, that giant leap into the unknown.
At Aberdeen, it's not about staying in your lane. It's about going beyond disciplines.
Beyond borders,
beyond boundaries,
so you can go further.
To spark lasting, positive change.
So, go beyond, now.
Join the boundary breakers, change makers, risk takers.
And follow your true north home.
Aberdeen is waiting.